FM News Talk 97.1.
On demand audio.
On Monday, we brought you the story of the backdoor gun registration, which is essentially what was happening with the Department of Revenue and DHS. Missouri's Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder sounded the alarm on Monday afternoon with a press conference and filed suit to stop this process. He joins us right now on the phone with some developments, and also a lot of people are beginning to speak out about this story now. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Thank you for having me on, Dana, and for all the attention you've given to this very important issue. We're talking about the privacy rights that are precious to us all as Americans and citizens. They're being infringed here, we believe. And a judge, once we got it in front of him on Monday, we filed it Monday morning, and the same day he issued a temporary restraining order, as you know. Mm-hmm. So we won round one. And many other developments are underway. This is moving on several parallel tracks. I can guarantee you that your coverage helped us get the attention of many, many members of the General Assembly, both in the House and Senate in Jefferson City, and your listeners have been peppering them with emails. I'm told that one state senator from southeast Missouri had 500 emails in 2 days on this.
Wow.
I can tell you might get 6 or 8 or 10 in a normal period on that, on any subject. But, Dana, your listeners should know there are multiple developments coming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Let's take them in sequence. Monday at noon, there is a hearing of the Government Accountability Committee in the House. That's in the basement of your state capitol in Jeff City. It is at noon, and they will be hearing House Bill 787, which is a direct result introduced last week with, I think, 6 or more co-sponsors. The bill would make it explicit once again. It already violates 2 state statutes, but this would make it explicit once again that Revenue cannot share this information. They cannot scan it and share it with any third party, and that it's a crime to do so. That's House Bill 787, sponsored by Todd Richardson. And I am told Revenue will have their officials there to answer questions. This is the first time they will be doing this in public.
Wow.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Monday at noon on House Hearing Room 1 on House Bill 787 by Representative Todd Richardson. Then, Dana, on Tuesday morning, we're in court in the Boot Heel in Stoddard County in the town of Bloomfield, the county seat of Stoddard County, in front of Judge Rob Mayer, to go forward on the merits of our lawsuit filed this past Monday, in which he will consider arguments on the merits for the first time. Our request is for a declaratory judgment that as a matter of law, this practice by Revenue has violated and is violating 2 Missouri state statutes that are already on the books, and that the rights of Missourians are thus being infringed. And that's our first crack at the substance of that after the granting of the temporary restraining order, and we'll be asking the judge to make his order a permanent injunction against the fee office. Now, then on Wednesday, Dana, at 8:30 a.m., the start of the day in Jefferson City, the Senate Appropriations Committee has the Director of Revenue coming back before the committee. It is interesting and it's an extraordinary event that he's having him back because he's already had him.
Yeah.
They've already gone through the revenue budget and thought they had finished it and put it to bed, at least on the Senate side. And the Director of Revenue is going to get a chance to come back and answer pointed questions about this. And I know there's at least one committee member who believes he has been lied to.
Wow. So these are 3 huge steps that are being taken. I wanted to ask you, too, because you had also sent a letter to Governor Jay Nixon asking to meet with him and other legislative leaders. Have you heard back from Governor Nixon?
I have heard back through I've heard my arrogant response through the spokesman for him, who summarily dismissed any chance of a meeting out of hand in response to a reporter's question. They don't respond to me. It takes somebody like you from the media and I think we ought to build pressure on the governor personally to answer these questions. He cannot step back as he did on the Mamtech scandal of a year and a half ago up in Moberly, Missouri, and when he ultimately was pressed on the Department of Economic Development's fiasco mishandling of that. And he said, look, I don't run the Department of Economic Development. I dare this governor to step forward and say, in like manner, I don't run the Department of Revenue.
Yeah,
we know that he has a director for each of these departments, but the buck stops with him, and he is accountable, whether he likes it or not.
I would like to know whether or not he gave the order. I just can't imagine something like this happening in the state of Missouri without the governor being fully aware of it, especially when it
Dana,
violates.
Don't you think that would make an interesting subject for a sunshine request?
I do. I think it's a fascinating one.
Communications between his office and the Department of Revenue on this?
I do. I very much so. Because I just can't imagine, how does something like this happen without the governor being unaware? As you said, I mean, he selects the directors for each of these departments. I don't see how this happens.
I want to make another point about our friends, and there are many good people among the 1,500 or more, maybe 2,000 employees all over the state in the Department of Revenue. There are a lot of good people in there, a lot of good Missourians, and they're terrified of telling the truth on what's going on here. We are looking, we in state government, and we have the majority big time in both the House and Senate. We are looking for whistleblowers, Dana, within the Department of Revenue, employees who know something about this. We're asking them to step forward, and I'm guaranteeing you that the conservative majorities in the House and Senate and my office will throw a cloak of protection around any whistleblowers on this issue. We are also asking for fee agents and the employees in the local fee agent offices to step forward and give us information on what's going on here, and we will likewise protect them.
And that's something that, yeah, absolutely, because I'm sure that they're fearing some sort of retaliation if they were to speak out. I mean, it's...
Oh, they're terrified, I can tell you. I'm hearing from them.
Oh, my goodness.
Meanwhile, we're looking for other Missourians who are getting ready to go in and re-up their driver's license to potentially be plaintiffs in other lawsuits. There's no reason why the one in Stoddard County should be the only one filed in this state. We have 114 counties. We have Missourians going in every day to re-up their license, and let's get some more of these plaintiffs lined up and people who realize that their rights are being infringed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we had one caller who just a little bit ago, he called in and he was questioning the process as well. And he was a little bit suspicious. You know, why is this being shared with third parties and so on and so forth? And we need as many people to speak out as possible. And yes, especially with the conservative majority, they would be able to do so free of retaliation from individuals who would want them to remain silent. And I would love to hear from Governor Jay Nixon. I absolutely would. And we're going to we always try, Lieutenant Governor, we always try to get him on the program. And it just, for some reason, it never happens.
He won't come on your competition either.
No, I know.
Stonewall? Is it Stonewall?
Yeah, he just transparent administration. That's
right.
That's how that goes. Well, we so appreciate your diligence on this story, and I know we're going to be talking with you again next week, especially after we have the hearings on this, and especially after you go to court as well. And hopefully, we can have more individuals speaking out about this issue, because this is something that we also know. And I didn't know if you were aware. Greg Abbott, Texas's Attorney General, is looking into this in his state to see if the same thing is taking place.
I'm very proud that in Missouri, as we were on Obamacare, Dana, I think we were the first to light the prairie fire on this. And I'm glad that somebody of the integrity and the ability of Greg Abbott is on the case, too. Well,
and we thank you for sounding the alarm, because I don't think anyone would have known what was going on had you not done so. So we appreciate your voice.
Dana, before this is over, you may want to come do a live remote broadcast from one of the hearings in Jeff City.
I would love to do that. That's right up my alley. I would love to do that. Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care.